Problems in Spain. It's moved another step closer to needing a bailout. It comes, of course, after a week of tension in the Eurozone, with leaders struggling to come up with a plan to solve those problems.
Steph is here with us. So let's just take it back a bit. Where is Spain now? What's going on?
Well, the new news about Spain is that it's had its creditworthiness downgraded. In other words, one of the rating agencies, called Fitch, has decided that it's less likely now to be able to pay back its debts. Now, the reason why this is important is because it means it will be much more expensive, therefore harder for Spain to borrow money from the world financial markets, and that would put more pressure on them. And it's because investors will consider them to be a risky choice now for buying bonds off them.
But yesterday when we spoke, we were talking about them being able to raise some money.
Yes. Yesterday they did manage to raise some money on the financial markets, €2 billion, but it's at a higher rate than what they've paid for their money in the past, and also it's nowhere near what they need. That's €2 billion, but you're looking at them needing up to €100 billion to solve their problems there. So it's looking that they're moving closer now to needing a bailout. But they're not the only country in trouble here. We keep talking about the problems across the Eurozone. Have a look at this map and it'll just give you an idea of some of the other countries that have had problems. Now, there's 3 countries so far where the governments have been bailed out because they've struggled with paying back their debts. You've got Greece, Ireland and Portugal. But as the trouble spreads, there could be more that need bailing out. If you have a look now at the countries that are going amber, that's Spain, we've just been talking about, but also Italy and Cyprus, who are looking uncomfortable with their debts too. And a lot of this is to do with the interconnectedness of all of these countries and the fact that everyone seems to owe money to everyone within this area.
It's interesting looking at that stuff because you can really see it's like a sort of infection spreading in some ways, isn't it? And what about the UK? What does it mean to us?
Well, it's important to us because, as we've talked about a lot, we export a lot to Europe. You know, more than half of what we export goes to Europe. So if they're struggling with money, it means they're less likely to buy things from us. But what we did do is we spoke to some businesses around the UK to see what they thought.
At the end of the day, if things go really bad, what will happen is our customers won't have any money. Therefore, we won't get any business. It's just as simple as that. At the same time, our banks will be constrained in lending to us because they'll be so busy covering losses they've made.
We are slightly worried that the part in Europe is diminishing. We've got distributors in Greece and Italy who are struggling at the minute, and they're our friends, they're our colleagues, so we're worried for them too. Could have a massive impact, but for a business such as ours, where we're in a niche industry, the beauty market, it's not really having a massive effect. We sell small value products and people are still buying small value products, things such as cars, houses. The market seems to have stopped, but the beauty industry keeps carrying on. Ladies always seem to want to have their treatments.
Well, that's a slightly optimistic viewpoint there. So, in terms of the slightly longer picture now, of course, Cameron met German Chancellor last night. There are all these meetings keep happening. They keep saying we're going to discuss things, try and come up with a plan. What's the big picture now?
Well, what happens next is more meetings, to be honest, because you've got a lot of EU leaders involved in this and lots of leaders across the world who want this to be solved pretty quickly. I think a person who sums it up quite well is Sir Howard Davies. He's the former Deputy Governor of the Bank of England and former Chairman of the Financial Services Authority. So he's had his fingers in a lot of the financial pies and he's his views on it.
The various sticking plaster solutions that they have put together in a variety of summits over the last 18 months have simply not solved the problem. There is a major crisis of confidence, and I think that will not be resolved unless they come together in some kind of banking union. There are some kind of mutual guarantees of each other's financial systems and of each other's borrowing, with German credit, of course, ultimately behind it.
So still a lot more work to be done, I think. It's the honest truth of it all. I'll probably be here again for many more months talking about it as well.
It is not over yet, Steph. Thank you very much, though. Thank you.
And see now.